Hello, my name is Shelly, and I'm one of the college coaches.
And I'm Shilpa, and I'm a coach at Concourse as well.
And today we're going to be talking about using SMART and WOOP to achieve your goals. Because we're a self-paced program, it's very important for fellows to learn how to set effective goals. Goal setting is a skill that you can learn and improve on, and today we're going to teach you how to turn your desire to get something done into actual results. Specifically, we'll focus on two frameworks, SMART goals and WOOP. So, first, it's important to distinguish between a desire and a goal. So, simply wanting to achieve something is not enough. You need to be able to translate your desire into action. For example, you may want to study or make more time for school, right? But only way that will happen is if you actually take time out of your schedule to say that you're going to do that and say no to less important things, right? So you make a plan for obstacles that might prevent you from focusing. All right, first we're going to be talking about SMART goals. So every goal you create should meet these 5 guidelines: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Right now, your goal might be, I want to study more. This is not a SMART goal because I want to study more is not specific, it's not measurable, and it's not time-bound. It will not motivate you to reach your potential. All right, so we're going to take the example of onboarding and completing your required assignments for week 2. So the biggest mistake people make is setting unclear goals. Goals should be black and white. It should be obvious if you've achieved them or not. For instance, I want to study more is not a good goal because it's unclear how much studying counts as more. Is it 5 hours? Is it 10 hours? And what will you be studying? The example on the slide is specific because either you've completed your assignments by Monday or you haven't. There is no in between. All right, let's move on to the second part, measurable. Similar to being specific, your goal should be measurable. So instead of I want to be productive, try a goal like the one listed above or on the slide where it says midweek I will complete 5 items on my to-do list. This allows you to target the number of tasks that you're able to cross off at a certain point. Next, you want your goal to be achievable, right? You want to make sure this is something that feels realistic to you. So this means you need to review each project to estimate how much time it will take and also understand how much free time you'll have in your schedule to study. Then the idea should be that you plan backwards from your deadline. In this example, the student has decided that project 1 will take 6 hours of studying over 3 days, and project 2 will take 8 hours of studying over 4 days. So as you can see, for the first 3 days, they'll be working on project 1, and then for the last 4, they'll be working on project 2, and they'll be able to submit by their deadline. All right. Similarly, your goal should also be realistic. You should understand how you will achieve your goal, how much time it will take, and when you'll do it. When deciding your study schedule, it's important to be realistic about your energy levels so you avoid burnout. And it's also important to think about what other priorities you have on given days or things that might conflict. In this example, the student has chosen to study for 4 days and take 3 days off. So Monday and Tuesday feel like a good day for them. They're able to study. Wednesday, they want to rest. Thursday, they're back to studying. Friday, Saturday, they're resting. And then Sunday, they're studying again. All right. Lastly, time bound. It can be helpful to set a deadline for your goal. And once you reach the deadline, you can reflect on your progress and set a new goal based on your upcoming schedule and projects. So for this example, the time bound aspect is that you will complete 2 assignments by your second coaching session on Monday. And this can relate to you all. You could even use this yourself when you're thinking about onboarding. All right.
So Shelly just talked about SMART goals, and I'm now going to talk about the second framework called WOOP. So in addition to creating SMART goals, we also must anticipate the obstacles that are going to get in the way of our goal and make a plan to overcome them. WOOP is a 4-step framework that has been proven by researchers to help improve their outcomes and realize their goals, and I'm going to walk through that now. The first step is to identify your wish. You should substitute your SMART goal as your wish, like we did in this example. So we took one element of our SMART goal, which is studying for 3 hours on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday to complete your week 2 onboarding assignments. The second is to imagine the outcome of achieving this goal. What will it look like to fulfill your wish? How will you feel? This step is critical because it makes the goal feel achievable, like you can actually do it. If your goal is to study 12 hours during the week, think about when and where you'll study. Imagine how it'll feel to come back after a day of work and be ready to study. And visualize a place in your house that will be quiet and distraction-free. Now comes the most important step, which is anticipating what obstacles will prevent you from reaching your goal. The obstacle you think of should be something that you can influence or control. So I'm going to walk through a few examples, but one that comes up that many fellows have is when many fellows intend to study, they're sidetracked or tempted by last minute social invitations. So in this case, your family or friends inviting you to a last minute outing. A second obstacle might be avoiding studying because you feel overwhelmed by your projects or feedback. And a third may be when you start to study, you get distracted by notifications on your phone. So now we've covered wish, outcome, and obstacle. The last step is to make a plan for how you'll deal with your obstacle. By coming up with a plan ahead of time, you won't have to try to outthink the obstacle in the moment of temptation. Your plan should follow should follow the format of when so and so happens, then I will. So for example, when my family and friends invite me to a last minute outing, then I will say no if I'm not on track to meeting my goal. And so specifically what you want to do is think about progress on your SMART goal. And if you feel like you're behind, say no. We understand that this is not always easy to do, but we want to encourage you to get into the habit of prioritizing school, which often means saying no to other obligations. So a second plan. When thinking about studying feels overwhelming, then you can text my coach, create a to-do list, or set a timer for at least 5 minutes. So this part of this plan is, even if studying feels very overwhelming, think about the minimum that you can do to start getting in the habit of studying. And that could look like, at a very minimum, just texting your coach, creating that to-do list, and studying for at least 5 minutes. Our third example is a distraction that gets the best of all of us. So when you start to feel distracted by your phone, then you'll turn off your phone and put it in the other room. Even if you can't turn your phone completely off, you can put it on silent and only try to check it every 30 minutes. So you've now identified 3 solid plans that you can enact anytime one of these obstacles gets in the way. So let's recap. Can you list what all the letters in SMART and WOOP stand for? If you don't remember, skip back for a reminder. If these frameworks are new, it'll take time for you to learn and use them, but your coach is here to help. We'll continue to remind you to use these tools so you can earn your degree as quickly and efficiently as possible.